Hi and welcome back to another training tutorial with the Institution of Health Science in association with the Cell Quicken and the Circle to Care network. In these tutorials, I'll be covering talking topics in relation to our product presentation video. If you have not yet watched the presentation video, I'd advise for you to please do so before continuing with these tutorial videos. In this tutorial video, I'll specifically address the following three topics: symptoms versus cause, discomfort and potential dangerous treatment options available to sustain good maintainable health, and the accessibility to medical care. Now, when we talk about symptoms versus actual cause, it's important to remember that current medications are not geared towards actually solving the underlying issue, but more towards allowing your body to cope under the stressful environment that it's been placed in. To give you a good example, if we think about something like blood pressure, a lot of people will be put on a type of blood pressure medication that's not actually geared toward fixing the reason for their blood pressure, but instead will address the quality of their blood by thinning that out, allowing the blood to then flow freely through the body and therefore bringing down the blood pressure. Now, in all fairness, it sounds like that's a good idea, but at the end of the day, you have not fixed the reason for the high blood pressure. Now, what happens in a lot of the cases is as well that people start using a specific medication. As mentioned in the previous tutorials, that medications are not actually designed for very long extended periods of time. Because of all the other various chemicals and side effects associated with medication, long exposure from them might cause underlying organ damage or functionality not happening as they should within your body, not even speaking about the fact that you will make your body very dependent on that medication, not allowing your body to really retake its own health and actually function the way it should. Therefore making you dependent for the rest of your life on a specific type of medication. Not just that, medication at some stage will get to a point where your body has built up a specific resistance towards it. Then you'd either need to start changing your medication, adding in additional elements to the medication, or upping the dose. Again, leaving the question of, are you really being healed from your condition? Is recovery actually something that your doctor is able to give you with the use of medication? Now, that's the difference with the Cell Quicken. Because we understand that your body has energy, and we know that your body has a specific energy signature for every organ, system and function within your body, by sending through the corrective frequencies to your body, we are able to actually retrain that organ functional system to start working the way it's supposed to work, without having to make your body then dependent on the chemicals or the various side effects from them. Because we go to the underlying cause of the illness and not just addressing the symptom and making your body able to function with the underlying cause, we actually start correcting your body, we start rejuvenating it and actually restoring a state of health. Again, taking the example of high blood pressure into consideration. High blood pressure may be due to a buildup of specific plaque in your arteries. Now, instead of just thinning out your blood to have the ability to still continue flowing through this, we'll actually start addressing the buildup of the plaque, breaking that down so your blood can then flow the way it should flow, and not just thinning out the quality of your blood to ensure that you stay alive. So with the Cell Quicken, it is very important to, again, when you are with a client, to ask these types of questions when it comes to their medication use and their understanding of medication. You need to determine if a client is on the same page as you with understanding medication. Now, you'll see that in the following tutorial videos, we're going to spend quite a lot of time in discussing and building and creating specific ideas and patterns for you to be able to fully understand the capability and the ability of the Cell Quicken. You might not have the same amount of time with a client, and it's very important for you to thoroughly and fully understand the workings of the Cell Quicken device to help a client bridge these differences in understanding. So when you ask a client about medication, ask them what they currently understand about medication, how they're currently using medication, and Are they then, again, as the previous tutorial, able to afford all of the medication, and should their medical aid, or should they be unable to afford the medication, will they continue with the medication? And then ask them the big question is, what would their life look like without the medication? Would they be able to still live the life that they're currently living? Would they still be able to dream about the future that they would like to have? Would they still be able to actually achieve the things that they still want to achieve in life? It might be a yes and it might be a no answer. Depending on it, again, you as an affiliate will need to spend the time to really understand your client and build the relationship for them to understand, again, that the Cell Quicken is a foolproof solution to all of their medical problems. The affordability of the Cell Quicken is very, very reasonable, especially because the product comes with a 10-year warranty and almost 7,000 different applications. Not just for your long-term chronic conditions, but for your everyday treatments as well. Then when we look to the use of medication and the actual recovery from conditions, again, ask your client if they have any chronic conditions. If they say yes, ask them what medication they're using. How long have they been using the medication? In what dosages have they been using the medication? Does the medication at any stage actually make them feel any worse? Does the medication actually make them feel better? Ask them if they see themselves where they are now at that specific age where you meet them. Where do they think they're going to find themselves in the next 10 or 20 years in regards to these long-term chronic and life-threatening conditions? Do they see a full recovery happening from this, or do they see themselves dependent on medication for the rest of their lives? Ask them about their parents and their grandparents and how healthy they were and the affordability in regards to staying healthy for their own parents. When it comes to speaking with a client, it's all about building a relationship. It's about introducing a concept to a client and then building the story out of their own life. You do not need to force a client into understanding our product. All that you need to do as an affiliate marketer is to make them understand that there is a better alternative available, a safer alternative with effective results and lasting results, 10-year warranty, and no worries about your future ever again. So build the relationships with your client. Ask them the questions that nobody else wants to ask them. Wait for them to answer and help them come to the conclusion and the understanding that the Cell Quicken would be the device for them for today, for their family, and for the rest of their lives. If you've got any other questions in regards to this talking point, please feel free to leave us a comment or to connect with us via the support network on the Circle to Care network.